first round of books I've pulled off my shelves to read for February. Like I said in my other video, I have read some books off my shelf so far, so this is just the next stack I've gone through. And I haven't really gone through with any kind of like genre or reason in mind, just kind of like what I want to read, what I've been wanting to read for a really long time, or just something that just kind of piques my interest right now. And they're all from my bookshelf. Some of these books have been on my bookshelf for weeks, some for months, and some for years, maybe even close to a decade. So let's take a look at what I plan to read from my shelf, and maybe, hopefully, I can get through all of them in February. First one is a manga. It's called Boys Run The Riot. I have a friend who loves manga. She reads manga like all the time. She has a huge collection, and I ask her for recommendations. This is something she recommended to me, I want to say back in May. Yeah, she recommended this book to me back in May. It's been on my bookshelf since then. So I pulled it off because I decided that I want to read it and tell her what I think about it. All right, the next one is actually one that I wanted to read in January, and I haven't gotten to it yet because it is this massive book called Brave Story by Miyuki Miyabe. And it was serialized in magazines or journals in Japan. So that's interesting. I didn't know that. A friend of mine got it for me probably 10 years ago. And it's huge, but it's so, like, just look how cute it is. And it's just like this little fantasy epic story adventure. So I'm gonna try and read it. I'm trying to get to it in February. All right, the next one has been on my shelf probably only 6 months, maybe less than, but I heard about it last year, and it's called The School for Good Mothers. I've been putting off reading this. I might not read this. We're gonna see what my mood is when I start to read it, but if I can't get through it, I'm probably gonna DNF it and save it for a later date. We'll see, but it's, you know, it's sort of this dystopian future that explores like motherhood and what it means to be a mom, and I feel like I might be able to handle it. And then there's another part of me that's like, I might not be able to handle this. So it's there for February, but I don't know if I'm gonna get to it. Okay, the next one, again, has been on my shelf probably for about a year, and I can't remember where I got this copy, if I got it used or if I got it gifted to me, but it is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy, her biography. I have heard really amazing things about this book. It's been all over Book Talk. It's been all over my feed, so I have it. It's also, I have it on Audible, so I feel like I can simultaneously listen and read with it. It's been recommended to me a bazillion times. I do need to read it. I am late to the party, but it has been on my shelf for quite a while, so I'm gonna get to it in February. All right, the next book is a small book. It has been on my shelf, again, probably for another decade. The High Price of Materialism by Tim Kasser. I discovered this book back when I was teaching middle school the first time. There was an excerpt in the textbook, and I was so intrigued by it. I was like, I've never heard of this. And so I looked it up, found it, I bought it, and then it's just sat on my shelf because I've never found the mood to read it. So I'm gonna try and get to it in February. It's kind of a slim one, so I feel like maybe it'd be really pretty easy to read. We'll see though. And the last one is Circe by Madeline Miller. Again, I'm late to the party on this one. This one has been on my shelf for years. I can't remember who gave it to me. I can't remember if I just bought it. Like I was like, I have a book buying spree and I just bought it and I just never read it. But I think it has been on my shelf for a few years. I'm late to the party. I'm late to the Madeline Miller party, and I need to catch up. I want to read Song of Achilles as well, but this is the one that's on my shelf currently, and I want to try and stick to my goal of reading off my shelf. So that's it. Those are the books that I want to read in February, and this is not a huge pile of books. This is just books that I think I can conceivably read in a month. I'm probably not going to get to all of them, but I at least want to try. So this is like my goals. It's kind of ambitious, I feel like, because those are some pretty heavy books. But again, this is just a goal. This is just to see if I can read these books in February. Yeah, so that's it for February. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see if I can do it. I hope you enjoyed this, If you found this video and you liked it, I hope you subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!